All right. Well, hey, everyone. This is Dee Corchin, and I am happy to be with you guys tonight for Monday Night Team Time. We come together every Monday to come in community, to learn together, to grow together, and to be our best. And it is July 18th. So we are, if you're watching this on recording, we are really excited because we've got National Convention this week, which is always such a game changer for us as coaches. I've been coaching for 11 years, always attend all events, and I learn something new every time. I am reawakened, re-inspired, see it a little bit bigger, get to see you guys in person. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be on live stream as well. So excited about that. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more about the importance of community, but do me a favor, just put like an exclamation point in the comments if the benefits of community when you joined Optavia and in particularly joined coaching, if the benefit of community was something that surprised you and is maybe one of your greatest treasures. Okay, multiple exclamation points if it means a lot to you. All right. So there's an important reason why we're gonna talk about this. And I was telling Lauren yesterday at my church, they were doing a sermon called Find My Friends. And it was really about the importance of community, connection, regardless of your religious belief, et cetera. It is a human need, right? It's a human desire. But listen to these statistics, all right? He was talking about, he said that he was talking about the increased risk of death for various reasons, right? If you had a condition. So this is very pertinent to us because the increased rate of death by obesity, if you're obese, your chance of death increases by 20%. Your increased rate of death through excessive drinking is 35%. And the increased risk of death by loneliness is 45%. So it's almost double obesity. So it really shows you the power of community. We're going to talk about this when we talk about coaching and offering it, but really something to treasure and be proud of. And this just crossed my mind. If this community is important to you, I encourage you to really promote this aspect of coaching. Go ahead and take a screenshot right now, post it in your stories, tag me, tag Lauren, tag anybody who speaks tonight. Let's blow this up, you guys. Maybe start doing this as part of our normal practice, because I think it's something that people will be attracted to. So everybody smile if somebody's going to screenshot now, right? So I also talked about, before we get into our topic tonight, and I'm so excited to share with and do this with Lauren tonight, who is really had such a heart for helping people with coaching and delivers the invitation to coaching so naturally. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, because it's such a hot topic right now, is the economy. Right? The economy. Some people have been wondering, are people moving orders because they can't pay for it, or they think it's too expensive, or they worried about spending, et cetera. And just wanted to spend a minute. I'm all about, let's just talk about whatever the issues are. And so I saw this study, and I'll post the image when I post the recording, but there was a study, it was done in January of 2022, so not that long ago, but it was a reminder. It said the average person eats out 5.9 times per week. The average American, 5.9. Now, if you think about it, those are people grabbing lunch, grabbing different, you know what I mean? It's not like they're going out to dinner necessarily 5 times a week, but they're grabbing stuff, right, to go. 5.9, which is $3,500 a year or $300 a month. Just on going out. That's the average American. So we're dealing with the average Americans, right? So, so the cost of their grocery bill, we know, is on top of all of that, right? So we know if somebody's on program, it's pretty much net neutral if they stop going out to eat too much. So keep that in mind. But the other thing is, I also saw that with inflation, and this was in May of 2022, that with inflation, the average person, it's actually costing them $351 more a month just to maintain their lifestyle of where they were before. So in economies where, like we're in right now, home-based businesses thrive. People are looking for additional ways to make additional income. We know we have the best home-based business because we're a professional coaching business. We're paid very, very well for what we do. But just a reminder that, you know, inviting somebody to coach who helps just 5 people is going to earn on average $356 a month. So they're net neutral for the extra cost of living if they bring on coaching, right? Or if they want to be cost neutral to their current expenses and pay for their fuelings. If you're getting that reason why people might be moving or not coming on, it's less than 10 people and they're ahead, right? Or they're at least, neutral. So just keep that in mind. I want you to have confidence. Optavia has not raised. I mean, we had a price increase earlier in the year that was nominal. I mean, it was just a blip on the radar. So we are staying net neutral where everything in the stores, is just going bonkers. So have confidence in that. And then we're also, as we come out of convention, we are also finishing and heading into the change of seasons. I know it's still like 100 degrees out, but if you live anywhere in the Southeast, school will be starting. Vacations are over, and this is always a peak time. So this is when we want to be out. We want to be visible. We want to be sharing, because people are already making their decisions right now, what they're going to do when life settles down and the vacations are over. So, so very good. I see lots of heads nodding. So we all get it. Okay. So, the other thing was, I hope you watched that little video that I posted last week from Optavia. It's, I think, like less than 30 seconds, but they said that 70% of Americans consider their health a top priority. 2/3 of Americans say that, or 2/3 of them say that accountability and support is what is missing or what they need. And then we know that 90% of our coaches are clients first. So when we invite people into coaching and then they bring people along the journey, they're working with somebody who's familiar with it. So all win-win-wins for what we're going to talk about tonight, which is sponsoring, and most importantly, keeping sponsoring fun. So Lauren, do you want to screen share, or do you want me to do it from my side? All right, awesome. So some of you guys I know are new to coaching, and we've got a couple people who are checking us out. So we just thought we'd kind of start with the who, what, and where with this. And the timing has never been better, because we have the Coach Accelerator bonus happening for coaches that come on in July and August. We've got a separate training on that, but they are eligible for incredible bonuses for 3 months of their first 3 months of coaching. And you, as their sponsor, is also eligible for 1 month of their bonuses if they bring on between three or more people. But sponsoring basically is partnering and supporting other Optavia coaches. This picture here was from our Awaken retreat. These are all people from our team. We already said community is so important, and we've all benefited from it. So what you're doing is you're inviting people into our community as coaches. What sponsoring is not, what we hear so much about is, well, my clients just aren't interested. I asked, they said no. Just happened to me the other day. I've got a client on day 8. She got the little video about coaching. She's like, nope, not interested. That's very normal, very normal. We'll talk about that later, but it's not, sponsoring is not offering it, and then if they don't accept it, just letting it drop. Okay. The other thing that we sometimes hear is, and I've certainly had the feelings, is we might feel like, well, if I'm offering this business to somebody, it's because I want to grow. It's because I want to grow my business. And you know what? That will be a benefit and a side effect. But the reality is, it's all about them, because they benefit way more. I can guarantee you, Meg Johnson and Beth Bilton, every coach on this team that I've directly sponsored has earned way more than I ever have from, working with them directly. And at the end of the day, what we are looking for is people that want to help people.
And why do we partner with coaches? And honestly, it was funny, we were going through these slides, and a lot of the reason why we partner with coaches is the same reason why coaches come on board. But what do we benefit? How do we benefit from partnering with coaches? And what's cool is we're able to make more of an impact. We're able to see a bigger ripple effect. We're able to reach people that we ourselves couldn't reach by partnering with coaches. We're able to lead to more time freedom. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but it becomes, instead of a one-to-one where we're ourselves coaching each of our clients, our time is multiplied when we bring on coaches. And health insurance for ourselves, when we partner with coaches, it helps also with our own accountability on top of coaching clients as well. Of course, added income. My favorite part of partnering with coaches, though, is how fun it is. And I'm looking at, some of my best friends that I've made through coaching. And it's just such a joy to get to come together, and so fulfilling and adding so much purpose. Oh, shoot. Oh yeah. So just remember that we all have needs. So just kind of putting those detective glasses on as you're building that relationship with your clients and kind of being mindful as we look out into your community of who has needs, whether it's health needs, needing to not just reach their goals, but stay healthy. So those clients who are struggling, who need extra accountability and support, which is, pretty much everybody right now, or most people over the summer. So what a great time to let them know, hey, you're going to be 5 times as likely to reach your own goals if you're helping somebody else, even if it's just one person. The financial needs and the freedom, as we talked about, as Dee mentioned in the beginning, just needing to pay their own bills, dreams for their future and their family. So just be thinking about what are the needs that this person has that coaching could fill. And maybe it's love. Maybe they need more community. Maybe they need more people who are going to uplift them, that are going to be like-minded, that are going to inspire. And same reason why people step into coaching, so just be thinking about, does this person want to make more of an impact? Do they feel like maybe what they're doing right now isn't really creating the impact and the ripple effect that they really want to leave on this world? Having purpose and significance, building more community, having more fun. We all know how incredible this community is. And I don't know about you guys, but I am so stinking excited for this week and to be all together in person. And then like we talked about, just the added health insurance and income potential and possibility for those that step into coaching. And this is a really cool thing. So it basically says like the percentage of people that successfully complete. So going through Marine boot camp, 85%, finishing law school, once accepted, 90%. And then medical school, all these huge things, marathon, running. If you go to the very bottom, 20% at maintaining a significant weight loss. You guys, this is powerful. And we all know that when people step into coaching, they're 5 times as likely to reach their own goals and to maintain it. We did a study with an Optavia. So, and that's maintaining it at the 2-year mark. So how cool that we can help give people that ability to not just reach their goals, but be able to help have better chances of maintaining their goals and their weight loss by stepping into offering this gift to the people in their world.
Okay. Did we want to ask Lauren about just get kind of a survey for the team? Why did you step into coaching? I'd be interested, when you first came on, what were your reasons for saying yes to coaching? Maybe pop that in the comments. It would just be interesting to see.
Sorry, I forgot to ask that. Lonely and broke.
Meg,
have a travel
and broke. Yeah. Yeah, Carol, you guys have benefited so well from the travel. Joni, because she was asked. How awesome is that? It's kind of like being asked to dance at the 8th grade dance, right? Somebody invites you and you're like, oh, okay, I'll do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, these are beautiful reasons.
These are great. You know what I love? I saw a couple of people they were asked, and it's almost like, when my sponsor chose me, he was a physician and he was like, I just think you might be good at this and whatever. I was flattered that he asked. It didn't mean that I wasn't nervous about it, but I saw a couple of that. So sometimes we get nervous talking to somebody about it, but look at how beautiful these are. These are good. We get nervous, but we're actually doing them a favor. So good. All right. So when you're building your business, how to sponsor, right? Is the one thing is kind of what I mentioned before is you want to bring it up often and you want to bring it up early. Is it, Lauren, is this my slide? Yeah. But we do that and we don't want to be afraid. Exactly what I was saying is we want to remember that what you're offering them is so much more than you can ever gain, and really listen to your heart. That's one thing. I think Meredith, we talked last week, last week's call was so great about asking questions, and Meredith Burford talked about the importance of really paying attention to your intuition. And honestly, you guys, there have been times I've gotten off the call and I've gotten nervous and not brought up coaching and actually called somebody back and just owned it. like, you know what, like, I don't know, I was going to bring this up, I felt weird, but I really feel like we need to talk about coaching. So just the more you do it, it is practice. It's like anything. I always say, let yourself be a beginner. The first few times you start to talk about coaching, you may feel like you're stumbling. You might feel, it might feel awkward. But the more we do it and just make it my goal is always just to make it conversation, to never make it weird, that we could talk about it over and over and over again and it wouldn't be weird because they would know that I was on their side. It's for them. And when they're ready, right? And my job is really just to help reframe things that maybe they're not seeing yet. And there's a lot of people on this call that I'm glad I didn't give up on them because they eventually said yes. Dream with them, really think about how it can impact them. Frank and I were doing a Coach Explore today, and this woman just, she was tired of being in debt. She was tired of being in the same cycle. She was like, I want to live the life. Why wait until I retire? I want to live the life I want right now. So it was just a really great conversation. So really just all about them. My favorite phrase, I got it from one of the boot camps, was find the leaks in their canoe. We just want to get to know our clients, be a detective so we can find out how it will impact their life. So from a business perspective, I mean, there's definitely income, right? Like for yourself, you are only going to be able to go so far by yourself. You only have so many hours in the day. You can get up to your 31% commission, but unless you just run up all the clients in the world, you're going to be capped. So you are able to, have time freedom and flexibility when you increase and add by coaches. It takes a lot less time and can lead to a lot more time freedom. And Lauren, maybe you want to jump in and offer some more on these slides.
Yeah. I was going to ask too. I know we talked about wanting to find out from you guys, like what are some of the fears that you guys have had around offering coaching, around bringing up the idea of coaching with your clients or with people in your world. So if you guys could pop that into the chat, we'd love to know. What are some of those fears? Because I think we've all had them, we've all had them. And I love that Dee said that sometimes she still gets that, that nervous feeling. But what I find is when we can stay in that, when we can stay wrapped up in that person and how it could benefit them, a lot of that fear subsides. Not having the time to do it feels like I'm pushing my agenda on them, sometimes hard to identify the need. That people will think it's about myself, making money, time restraint, and leading and developing other coaches, not knowing how to give them direction or mentor them, more around feeling that I won't be a great mentor. So what I'm noticing is, and I just thought of this, most of these are things involving us, right? That we feel like we're not enough. We feel like, and so I think that's what's so cool is when we can shift that perspective to really them and remember in this community, how cool that we're surrounded by mentors. So if there's ever questions, what's so cool is you can reach up. We're all here to help one another. So thanks so much for sharing these, because I think we've all felt these things. And next, I just wanted to ask about how do we really bring up coaching? How do we even start this? And I was really curious. I would love to know from you guys, if you can pop in the chat, how many times were you asked to coach before you said yes? I always love finding this out from fellow coaches because it's so interesting. So Carol twice, Lynette 10 times, Stephanie 6, 3 times. Yeah, Michelle asked about it first. That doesn't surprise me. Sam 5 to 10 times. Mandy Mail, too many, 3 years. So you guys see, it was, for most people, it can sometimes be 8 to 14 times before they say yes. And so with mindset, like I said earlier, it's so important to just keep the focus on them. Keep the focus on how can this help them? How could this benefit them? And one thing that helps me with that is remembering how much I've been given, how much my life has been blessed by stepping into coaching and wanting to give that gift to others. And if you remember, that's probably why you started coaching in the first place, was because you had felt what it was like to be a client on our program and you wanted to pass that to others. others. So it's just stepping into that same mindset with offering coaching as we offer client, being a client. And then the resilience, like we talked about, it's typically not the first time that you ask somebody that they're going to be like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. It's going to be the dripping. It's going to be bringing it up in conversation. It's going to be just getting comfortable with asking them questions like, hey, who's noticing? Who would you like to be on this journey with you? And just really making it about them and listening to understand where they're coming from. And next, I'm going to pass it back to Dee just to talk about, oh, actually, yep, I think that's right. We're going to pass it back. Nope, it's me. Sorry, you guys, we're back and forth. So what? And actually, I'm going to bring on Sam really quickly. Sam Bruno, she's been coaching for a couple of years, and she's really had a shift with bringing on coaches, and she's had so much fun doing this, and she's bringing on really quality people. It's been really cool to see this. So, and Sam does such a great job really involving all these different areas of when to bring up coaching. So Sam, I'm going to pass it over to you to share with us for a couple minutes.
Okay, thanks. I feel like everything that I was going to share, you've already kind of shared, but honestly, I think where it started was really with me. And I had such an incredible joy that I got from my transformation. I started coaching people, like a lot of us, because I wanted other people to feel that. But then when other people weren't feeling that the way that I was feeling that, then I started to get really insecure. I started to let fears, doubts, all the thoughts, get in my way and stop me from doing this, because then I stopped having fun. When I stopped having fun coaching people, then I didn't want to ask people to do it. But I think what I really the biggest thing was just really being honest with Lauren about how I was feeling and the fears that I was having, and really letting her dig in and ask me questions just to help me get my joy again. And I kind of would say I had to get the unfun part, that was hard. It was hard to really dig in and find the root of what was stealing my joy to get fun again. So that was something that really, I would encourage you guys, if you're feeling those insecurities or those doubts, it will cause you're going to pass that on, to your clients and the people who are really going to benefit from coaching. So if you're stuck, just please be real with your mentor and let them help you dig deep and kind of help you process a lot of that stuff. And I think once I started to figure out and navigate the fun things that I loved about coaching, then of course I'm going to bring it up to people. Look at how awesome this is. Don't we want to do this too? It's contagious, So that would, be the biggest thing I would recommend. And then also just speaking of how amazing our mentors are on our team, doing Coach Explorers. I feel it kind of took the pressure off of me and reinforced how awesome this gift is when I would have Coach Explorers and set them up with Lauren. So we don't have to have all the answers or try and figure out how do I make them say yes. And it's not really about that anyway. It's just kind of look at how awesome this is. So that was something that really helped a lot. And I would even after the first week or two, okay, so, the next week we're going to set up a Coach Explore, and not even just, we're going to do it. And, even if they say no, or I'm not ready, I don't want to talk about that, that's up to them. That's, the ball's in their court. But I just kind of make it of course, this is just a natural thing. When you're starting to feel results and you feel great about where you're at, people are going to ask you, and it's going to help you so much more, if you coach too. And I think it's really been fun just to be able to sit back and watch my other coaches shine and to really have that. And I think that's given me a lot more incentive to want to do it, even when there are people that say no or that they're not ready yet. To be able to see the ones that have and the success that they've had, and being able to pass it on and kind of fan that flame. I feel that's been such a joy to be able to focus on that. And one other little thing is what I've started doing is really showing them how much coaching them means to me, and
Mhm.
how much their inspiration has helped me in my walk, and how much, they call me higher. They have so much grit, or I love their attitude when they're faced with challenges, and it inspires me. And I think, like, I want them to feel like that's what coaching is going to do for them too. And, being able to kind of pass that excitement and that zeal on to them, like, that's the impression I want to give them. Not that, like, oh my gosh, this is hard and my life is so busy, and okay, I'm here for 5 minutes, what you got? To really show them how much it enriches our lives and it helps us when they can coach too. So thanks.
Ah, thank you so much, Sam. And it's been really cool, I think, just from a perspective for me to see the joy that it's brought you, Sam, to step into really mentoring coaches. And honestly, it's been so rejuvenating for you. I know that. And just obviously your energy around it is so contagious, and it makes total sense that you're bringing on so many coaching partners. But just really quickly, kind of, when do we bring up the coaching opportunity? And I know Sam mentioned a few of these things, but bring it up on the health assessment. There's so many great places to be thinking about and have those detective glasses on. When you're asking about, are they fulfilled? Who would they like to get healthy with them? Are they enjoying their job? On the journey kickoff call, hey, what's going to happen is that people in your world are going to see your changes. You're going to become a walking billboard. Make sure you take before pictures now, because you're going to be blown away by what's possible, even just within 2 weeks. And you're going to want to share, because you're going to want to have other people doing this with you. Their week one, this is where you're bringing them to your mentor, your FIBIC mentor, whoever you're doing your celebration calls or tips calls with. They are so comfortable bringing up coaching, and that you are going to learn from them how to make those conversations really simple, and how to really get comfortable having those conversations during their weekly check-ins. Who's noticing, really being a detective for their need, and not making it just about their weight loss or their health journey, but about their life, and really getting to know them and where the holes in their canoe might be, like Dee was talking about. When they're sending you referrals, I always say, hey, I can give you a $25 credit for that, but honestly, you're going to be coaching them anyway, so you might as well get compensated, and you're going to get a lot more than $25 by coaching them yourself. And just know it's never too late. I've had 2 clients recently that stepped into coaching when they were 1 year or 2 years into maintenance, because I wasn't afraid to keep bringing it up, and I knew that they would make great coaches. And now they're doing so much better in their own journey, and they're having, their friends and their family along with them. And it's been such a joy. I'm going to pass it back to you, Dee.
Yeah, awesome. I think a big reason why we're spending so much time on this, is, anybody know, like, when you study under Dan Bell, what are the 2 biggest factors for success for us as coaches? There's 3 things we do. What do you know? What it's like? Put it in the comments if you know. Like, what is 85% of the equation with this? Do you know? It's mindset and motivation. It's mindset, motivation, and energy. Like, if you could feel Sam's energy, like, that is what people are attracted to. So if we're asking so timidly and quietly, et cetera, in our mind, if we're thinking they're not going to want them at this, they make plenty of money, if we're making predetermined decisions, that is actually what's driving the outcome, regardless of the words that are coming out of your mouth. And I did see somewhere in there, somebody said they sometimes have difficulty checking, finding the need. And, and it's easy for us to think, well, they make a lot of money, or they do this, or they're comfortable, or whatever. But the number one need I talk to every client about, I pretty much say it's a no-brainer. If you are really serious about making this different and about keeping your weight off, every before and after picture you've ever seen me post is somebody who stepped into coaching. So I just make it part of, like, it really is not something that's really up for debate. And I've coached for a long time, and I can say it for a fact, those that step into coaching do so much better. So that alone will be my reason if I can't find another really obvious one. But the way it comes up in a coach conversation, kind of what to do next, is really we want you to have your coach glasses on. You know, we're heading into this week. You're going to have so much inspiration, motivation, people that come to mind, people that you'd love to partner with. Just start writing them down. Use the notes section of your phone or a piece of paper, and start asking the questions to people. You know, are you open to exploring what coaching could do for you? The key is always ask the word explore. And I always let people know, like, I'm not asking you if you want to. I'm not saying, hey, do you want to become a health coach? Not at that point. I'm saying, hey, are you open to the idea? And what I usually say is, at least then you know what you are saying yes or not yet to. I don't even use the word no. It's either yes, or you'll know what you're using. Yes, yes or not yet. But like Sam said, use your mentorship. Don't try to fly solo. I brought somebody to Susan yesterday, like my coach. So regardless of your experience, Meg brings me people all the time. So use your mentorship team. There's power in that. And there's a reason why we do that. And then, send a trilogy call, or the Becca Tinter 10-minute one is great. But we really just want to encourage you just to be curious around your fears. And really, with your fears, to say, is that a fact or is that a story I'm telling myself? Fact or story? I had somebody recently say, I'm just not a good business coach. I have brought on coaches, they've crashed and burned, whatever. She is a solid 10,000K a month executive director, has been for a long time. And I was like, well, how many coaches have you really helped? And the number was less than 5. So like, it just wasn't enough experience, right? I would love to go back and apologize to my first 5 clients, my first 5 coaches, like that's not the same D then. So like I said, just be curious around, allow yourself to be a beginner. What we would encourage you to do is, as you're doing your client shares and your client check-ins, identify at least one way coaching could benefit every one of your clients and write it on the health assessment. And really, you're going to have 2 probably, because one is always going to be for their health insurance, for keeping their weight off and getting to their goal, and then whatever else it would be. And you guys, if you're not doing the tips calls, they are a game changer. Any coach that's come on and has been bringing on coaches, I see Debbie Pasco nodding, she does them well. She's popping coaches like crazy. Anybody's bringing on coaches, they're following this process. So if you're not, and then bonus, we invite you to invite one person to a Coach Explore this week. So Lauren, you want to bring it home?
Yeah. So just remember, kind of in closing, if you don't hear a no, you are not doing it enough. And remember, when we hear a no, it's a not yet. All of us hear that people aren't ready yet. And allow yourself to be a beginner, just like Dee talked about. Take the pressure off and just have fun with it, and be thinking about them and how it could really benefit them. And what keeps you going when you hear a no or a not yet? Remembering that it's a not yet, staying persistent, and remembering stories of success. So as you heard, I think there were maybe only a couple people that stepped into coaching right away the first time that they were asked. Most of us, it was the persistence of the coach, or the persistence of the person who saw something in us. And how cool that we can be that beacon of hope and that belief in somebody else, that this could be something that could change their world like our worlds have been changed. So, be thinking about who in your world could use this, who could use more income, more community, more fulfillment and purpose, more impact, and more accountability on their own journey, because we all have them. We hope this was helpful. I don't know, Dee, if there's anything else you want to say in closing.
No, we're going to be, we're really putting our heads together, coming up with some planning and some fun stuff to do over the next couple of months to really help you get more comfortable and bringing on coaches and then being able to support them. So we're with you in this. Just know we're in it together. We want to help. It's just such a win-win. And that honestly is how we make it just a bigger and bigger impact on the world. So glad you guys were on. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Sam, for sharing. Thank you guys for sharing so actively in the comments. And we'll see you this week at convention. We'll be doing a convention debrief call next week. So even if you can't join us, get on that call so that you can hear the takeaways. So y'all have a good rest of the night, good week, and we'll see you later in the week. Bye-bye.